like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Hello.
Shuck it, duck it.
I'm muted.
Quack, quack. Quack, quack.
Why I'm muted?
What's going on, people?
I know.
Y'all all right today?
Oh, we doing good. How you doing, man?
I don't know where you at today, Bernard, but you're not home, right?
I'm not home. I'm originally home, Savannah, Georgia. That's where I'm at.
Here?
I'm here in Savannah.
Oh, because
and I'm in Cobb County.
Your internet ain't no good wherever you at.
It's no good?
Yeah, because it keeps freezing.
Yeah, you might want to turn your Wi-Fi button off.
I don't even know how to, I'm in Sean, so I'm freezing up.
Yeah.
Let me go out and come back in. Hold on. Let me go out and come back in.
You might have.
I'll put you on the Wi-Fi, put you on something.
Hold on. Let me go out and come back in because this ain't gonna happen.
Just try to well, but I switched places with Bernard. I'm up in Cobb County.
Oh, you up in
going
Cobb
to
County today. You done left South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going to support the new president of Atlanta Metro. He's being inaugurated tomorrow. So.
Did y'all get on? Y'all come on and say hey to the audience. Say hey to the world. These are my two new interns. They're Georgia Southern students.
Y'all are smart. Hello from Georgia Southern alumni.
Yeah.
Georgia Southern. What's up, Eagle Nation?
What's up?
They don't know. They don't know about that Eagle Nation pride.
So, go Armstrong.
Yeah.
So, are y'all in the Department of Communication Arts with Dr. Pam Davis, Dr. Pam?
Oh yeah, Pam Sears. I love Pam.
Yes.
I love Pam.
Yeah, I'm a PR major, so that was before y'all time.
Okay, I'm a theater major.
Tell Dr. Pam I say hello. I'll make sure we put in a good word for y'all.
I will. Thank you.
She's a good actor because I heard her just now. I thought she was from Africa somewhere. See that thing what you told your mom again?
Anybody that comes through Georgia Southern is great. Y'all better tell them. Matter of fact, y'all get Julius a Georgia Southern shirt for next week's show.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, she act just like Jamal, man.
That's perfect.
Wow. She did. Wow. You know what? I'll take that as a compliment.
Right.
It's a compliment sometimes.
Power to the people. Power
Right.
But these are my two interns. They'll be
Get it.
do some work. I got about 5 or 6 of them somewhere around here. But they were just on Run Tell That with Jamal. Y'all make sure y'all go back and check that out. And one is graduating in a few days, and the other one graduates next summer. So we're going to see if we can get them all the help they need. Bernard, you freezing a little bit, but you're all right, I guess. You'll make it. You might have to go off your phone or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going off my phone now. I may have to switch rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got y'all did get the agenda, right? Huh?
Yeah.
Y'all get the agenda.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. All right.
I want to know what Sean is giving me out.
All right, y'all give me a call. We'll talk. All right. See y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Don't forget that stuff on the table down there. All right. So we got a lively show for you all tonight. Talking about a number of issues. And we're gonna see whether we can get through all of them. If America After Dark can get where his
I'm trying to get this thing.
But no, I called somebody under 40 in the room and tell them to turn off your Wi-Fi button.
He got Tim right there. He got his nephew.
I mean y'all know Bernard is 95. He don't get it. I'm gonna talk trash while he not here.
Hey, Diane Dowse Brown. Hey, Sir Deputy. Sir Deeply. Better Savannah. What's on the agenda? Ooh, we got a bunch of stuff talking about. Bernard gonna be talking. If he ever get his stuff right, he's gonna talk about that $33 billion that the United States just gave to the Ukrainian government. We're gonna talk about that Supreme Court. We're gonna talk about.
Let me tell Chuck
about the slap, huh?
I'm gonna tell Chuck. Chuck also Georgia Southern Chuck that Georgia's been inaugurated tomorrow. So Chuck was a student of his as well. So
okay.
But anyway, moving on.
All right. Waiting on Bernard going out and coming back in, I guess.
Yeah, he's gonna try to get it. He got to find somebody under 40.
That first subject was his because he really wanted to talk about that first subject. Well,
we can do it backwards.
Yeah, we can go down to the second one. Let's talk about Roe versus Wade. It's okay. Chuck playing poker.
Hey, John.
Hey, let's talk about Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, I saw that that today, and I'll say this: I'm 50-50 on it. I shifted my viewpoint, and I'll share my context. So I grew up Catholic, so I don't share the Catholicism views on abortion, and I also value what Ruth Bader Ginsburg shared in her opinion. But at the same time, I'm wondering, are we going too far with restricting and telling people what they can and can't do? And are we setting a precedent for the government to just govern everything we do, from peeing to going to the bathroom to making decisions on ourselves?
Well, I'm just like you mostly, even though I didn't grow up Catholic. I was always with the belief of preserving a life. And so I'm 50-50 on it also. Well, really mostly 60-40 because I believe a woman should have the right to choose. If the child is, if it's a in the latter stages and only got a month or two before the baby's to be birthed, then that's different. That's that baby is in there and is ready. But when you're talking about a woman being a month or 2 or 3 pregnant, then that's different. So she should have a right to do whatever she wants to do, even though I'm not a big proponent of it. She still should have a right to do what she wants to do with her body. And the same people that are talking about saving a life don't want to even give you food stamps. They want to bring you here, and then so I guess so that you could keep up the slave trade. I don't know, but it's all types of points that we could get to on this. Bernard, we went to subject 2 first, and we'll go back to subject 1 because we know you wanted to talk on that subject 1.
Yeah. And I got some brand new information. I got a rebuttal.
Okay, so we're still on subject 2, and it's the Supreme Court reversing Roe versus Wade, and that's what they're getting ready to do. I think that they're cowards. I think that they lied to the Senate to get confirmation, and then once they were confirmed, then they went back to doing and thinking like they were. You shouldn't be able to lie. You should be able to sign an oath. Is what they should make them.
I don't think the liberal. I don't think the justice.
You're violating policy number 1.
Yeah.
6-4, 6-3 votes. So whatever decided is always going to lean towards the conservative view, and that's because folk went out there and supported Trump or failed to go vote for who ran against him the first time, Hillary. So that's what you get. See, folks don't understand the power of voting. This is the power of voting right here. This is the outcome of Trump winning because people were too lazy. So now rights are being restricted because folks was lazy almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm like this. You can't. They always want to tell us what we can do, what we can't do, what we can say, what we can't say. I'm a firm believer like this. I think a woman have the right to do whatever she want to do with her body. I don't think we should be to say, you can't do this, because everybody's situation is totally different. Everybody's situation is totally different. I'm not saying that, you get pregnant and then you abort the baby or something like. All I'm saying is this: you have the right to make the right choice for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. You have the right choice to make the right choice for you in your situation. Okay. It's been time where, and I'm be honest, it's been time where I was close to certain situations, and that situation had to, you had to make the right choice, and the right choice was what that situation was. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, everybody have the right to do what they want to do. Last time I checked, they said, it was freedom of speech, freedom, you free. But I think this country here, this is my opinion, what I'm about to say. I think this country is full of S. I think this country choose to dictate who they want, what kind of race that they want to dictate to. I think they dictate. They dictate and give every race a standing ovation, but the black race. And it get to a point where enough is enough. Okay, we need to come together. Like I was talking to Jews yesterday. We need to come together and stop fighting one another and start fighting them. Man, it's 2022. Jules, you 60. I'll be 60. RJ, he gonna be 25. And we still fighting for rights. We're fighting to use our telephone. Come on, man. Hey, like I said, everybody have the right to choose whatever they want to do with their body. Everybody's situation is different, and that's my opinion on that.
Jamal Touré don't have no rights though. He don't have the right to do nothing but do what we tell him to do.
Oh, that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct.
Hey,
With the producer and Bernard Brown, yeah, it's absolutely correct.
hey, what y'all trying to outrun each other in each other's cars?
Yeah, we about to race, y'all. I-20.
Yeah. You kept going out, so we was telling you. I don't know whether you heard us that you was violating rule number 1.
The internet.
No driving while you on the show.
But Touré, I'm in Atlanta, Touré, because the people want to know what we're doing. I'm in Atlanta to support your frat brother, who's the new president of Atlanta Metro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jamal, we on Roe versus Wade, and what's your thoughts?
It's a sad statement that men are telling women what can happen with their bodies, and that women have a right to say. They have a right to say, but this is tied to oppression. Again, this is oppression, and this is just one step in the line because they're going to do this right here, and what they're thinking that they can move the needle with regards to other rights of other people. So we need to be. That's why we have to be unified on this. We have to be in tune to this right here. Understand that it's a diabolical group of people in this country who are not in position, or who are not the majority right now, but they want to basically exercise their feelings and their sentiments against the masses of the people. And if the masses of the people remain silent, then guess what? All of us going to be harmed by this.
Well, the people got to stand up then.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But what are your thinking? See, here are a bunch of cowards who serve life terms. They are up there forever. Nobody can remove them besides the Congress for impeachment. So they're there for life terms, and they're cowards. They made this a decision back in February. They're getting ready to post it in June when they go on their summer break. And then they'll be out, so nobody couldn't raid the Capitol and march on them, and but it was leaked. Now they're more concerned with the damn leak.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
than anything.
Yeah.
They want to be concerned with. They're saying that they have a right to hold that information until June when they go on their summer break, and they dare somebody leak their information.
Right.
But on the other hand, they want to tell a woman what they can do with their body. How dare they tell a woman what to do with their body?
Mm-hmm. What kind of mess is that? It's nothing new. The government has always been overly intrusive. And y'all go out and buy Alexa and Paul in y'all house and do all that. The government has always been overly intrusive, telling us what to do, restricting us, taking things away. And we are surprised all of a sudden. The government has always had the right to beat us, put their knee on our neck. And all of a sudden, we want to wake up to it. I want to take us all the way back to Emmett Till. I keep telling us, this ain't nothing new. It's just got a different robe on. We've got to stop allowing people to do things to us or watch it happen to the next person, and then we pissed off. I agree with Dr. Touré, the fact that guess what's going to happen next? We're going to keep on. We're going to be back in chains on the field picking cotton. And because it's happening to the women and not the men, some of the men, we gotta be outraged too. Because you think about it, a woman go out there and get raped. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? And now she's pregnant. And you going to make her have a child? That's up to that woman's right. So we gotta be up right now. Every woman and every man should be at the steps of the Supreme Court demanding that be reversed immediately. And if we don't stop if we don't start caring about the next man, Dr. King has told us, we're gonna either live together in harmony or we're gonna perish together as ignorant fools. And if you keep playing, watch what happens.
And just to throw this out there also, and these are the people who are not even concerned with taking care of the least and the left out in the society in general. They're not concerned about poor people and impoverished people anyway. So that's why you have programs that they cut in funding for programs that can help provide nutrition to children and educate children. Just some fundamental things with regards to housing, fundamental rights. So they're the ones still. So I'm like, They don't care if they really live or not. So again, but this is a part of a political agenda by them. And so now here go millions of people that are going to be devastated by this. And so, and the last thing about it, Caucasian women, you all need to be standing up and getting irate about this. You need to be getting Caucasian women in particular, because these are people that you all are sleeping with, being with, people who you support, your fathers, your brothers, your uncles, your sons. They're the ones creating this type of madness. And so see how they come against you? But often that's what happened. Here you go, groups of people want to support people like them, and then now they turn against them and not bite them.
Do y'all think that we should have term limits on the federal judges also? If you're appointed by a president, then I think that your term should be 8 years, and then the next president should be able to do something after that 8-year period is up to appoint somebody to those positions. I mean, it's a career killer, but if not 8 years, then it need to be 12 years. That they shouldn't be able to sit there forever. They're the only positions in the world that can.
Well, I was sharing, in fact, in my class last week, that's a part of when we talk about reforming the criminal justice system. That has been some of the commentary that has been made prior to this right here. They were saying that with regard to the Supreme Court justices, that we need to basically get it so that it is not for life. So that is and I'll let you know, there is a thought that has been out there for a while. But let's see now if there's going to be any groundswell of support with regard to that. And one of the ways that you can go and address it is through your legislatures. That is through the U.S. Congress can go on and basically go and administer, and basically begin to address that and to go, and do some editing with regard to the Constitution, with regard to also legislative laws with regards to that.
Yeah. I'll say this. I'll say 12 years. 12 years. I say 12 years, and then you move on. But I don't think that's gonna happen, because at the end of the day, it favor them. You got and you got all the other folks. It favor them. So that's not gonna happen. And this young lady, my Aunt Brown, she's on there now. So it's like, even though she on there, it's gonna come. She's still outnumbered. At the end of the day. It should be 12, but they ain't gonna change it because it favor them. That's why the Roe versus Wade. That's why this happening. That's why this happening. And not only that, it's how they always say, hard time don't last forever. Yeah, that's a certain different situation. But when it comes to us as black folk, hard time gonna last forever until the day you leave this earth.
Well, I can. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut it off.
Yeah, and until we, like we say, until we come together, man, it's like beating a horse. Until we come together, they're gonna constantly keep hitting us. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this him. When Muhammad Ali was fighting Joe Frazier, and Muhammad Ali was rope-a-doping and rope-a-doping, and then all of a sudden Muhammad Ali got tired of getting hit, and he turned on. Joe Frazier got tired of getting hit, and he knocked Muhammad Ali out. So I think that's what we need to do. We need to stop getting hit and start swinging back. And I put that in a good way, because I got fined the other night for cussing so much. So I put that in a good way.
Well, and I'll say this: it's a done deal. The Senate, Chuck Schumer and them, they don't have enough votes to do anything. It's done. It's a done deal. Get over it, Chuck. You're too late. Nancy can get in the House. It will never pass in the Senate. I can guarantee you that. I put money on it right now. And it goes down to this: I don't care how many term limits, firm limits, flowers, whatever you got. If folks don't understand anything right now, is that if you don't start putting people around the table who are going to advocate for your values, then you shall be on the menu. There's a saying that goes like this: if you're not around the table, then you are on the menu. And right now, women's rights are on the menu.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. We've got to stop sitting here waiting till things happen. we are so reactive. We've got to be proactive. And sometimes we can't do that. But I just think this is a wake up call right now. I cannot believe men think they can tell a woman what to do with their private parts. That's ludicrous to me. And they think it's okay. Like, we're not in the 1910s anymore. This is like ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's subject number one. We're gonna move on to subject number two. I think they all should get term limits though, and that it needs to be reworked where even the judges that are the lower court judges, federal judges, they serve life terms also, and I don't think that they should have a life term. You don't give nobody no job like that,
Right.
where nobody can get rid of them except for something really egregious. Uh, we're gonna go on to Bernard's subject: 33 billion to the Ukraine. Still no reparations for African Americans. So, Bernard, this is your subject.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say what I start to say is this. Okay, you giving 30, and then I have a rebuttal off that. You giving $33 billion to the Ukraine to fight this war. You know what I'm saying? But you can't give $33 for a black kid that need to have lunch, that need to have lunch today, that need to have a dinner today. Okay, come on now, and it is like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's what I'm saying, man. This country is like, I know people say, well, if you don't like this country, then leave. Okay, I'm gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave. But at the end of the day, $33 billion, and we can't get $33 to feed our kids. Okay, we can't. Us as black folk can't get nothing in this country. Not a thing. You know what I'm saying? And
we can't even get it from black folks.
That's it. That's it. Period. And so I did some research, and then I found out this here. The Ukraine had it was Putin buddy. He's a billionaire in Russia, and he had this big old ship, and the Ukraine overtake that ship, and there's a bunch of oil and everything, plenty of money, everything on that ship, and they sent it to the United States, got it, and when they got it, the value was $33 billion. And that's the $30 billion is the Russian money that's going back to the Ukraine to fight the Russians. You know, that's
well, what the hell they had on that ship that was worth $33 billion? How hard it is to get $33 billion worth of assets in one place?
It was $33 billion that they came up with, that ship had. This billionaire Putin. And that's where that money comes. That's where they say that money come from, and they send it back over there. So that's just like this here. Somebody coming in your house, take your gun, right, and then turn around and shoot you with your gun. And Russia got what over 1 million troops, and they can't take Ukraine down. Come on, it's been about what, almost 3 months, and they handling their business with these fools. Period.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
so that's where they say that's where the money came from. It was that's where the money came from.
My problem with it, Bernard, is that they did it so fast, and they're giving this country all this money. They're not a part of any treaty agreements or anything. I don't think they're not a part of the UN. Whatever, it's some special part of it, Security Council, where you get protected. And Russia didn't want them in there, so Russia had veto power. So Russia kept kicking them out. Russia knew what they were going to do. So my problem is that the United States can get up and give somebody $33 billion, and they already gave them billions before this. So they already gave them all these billions of dollars to some people somewhere else, and they gave us nothing. Yeah. They think that they are doing us a favor when we built this country. And that's part of the problem with me, that you can always run and give everybody else aid, but how about giving us that aid? How about going back and saying each one of these families, here's how you do this. We're going to give each one of these families $10 million. Families, give it to them. Let the families divide it then and put guardian ad litems or something on them. I don't know how you do it. Well, it's a system that could be done where you can enrich the families to say, okay, well, let's buy this property. Each family understands that they got to do something with it so that they can enrich their own lives also. But then there won't be you always got to have a poor underclass. And so they feel like if they give us that hand up, then they'll eliminate the poor underclass. And in every society, that's what it's got to be. But anyway.
Yeah, but it is, man, you see all these people, you see all these homeless people, man. And I'm gonna bring it back to Savannah. I've been in Savannah now probably about almost 5 hours, maybe 6 hours now. Within 6 hours, Jewish, and when RG and Jesus come back, within 6 hours, I done seen over 50 homeless people on the street already. They don't have nothing to eat. They don't look like they have been washed. And it's a shame, man. You giving somebody $33 billion. Just think if you give everybody who's homeless in Savannah, in the land of Savannah anyway, how that can change somebody's life. How that can change somebody's life.
Oh yeah.
And what get me, man, this would get me. I am so tired of these hypocrite elected officials that y'all have elected for Savannah, Georgia. All of them need to be fired right now. Every last one of them, from the mayor all the way down, that's not trying to help these people for a better life for these people. It's ridiculous, man. It is so sad. It is so sad.
Well, we got 3 that are trying to do something on that council.
Well, I'm saying, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who, who y'all know who.
Well, they want to make sure that we always say that they are not a part of that. So
right.
You got Bernetta, Lanier, you got Keisha Gibson Carter, you got Alicia Miller Blakely. They're doing what they're supposed to do for the people. Yes. They promised they would, and they are trying to. Even though they're being prohibited from doing what they need to do for the people because of roadblocks. But that's part of why we're going to be in there fighting.
Yeah. In the city, I don't know who's over people that's supposed to clean up the city, but man, and like I said, I've been there for 6 hours, and I went all the way over the city, picking folks up and all that. It's a big problem here, man. And like we said, we need to go to the polls, all us. We need to vote these folks out and vote the folks that really need to be in. And don't be afraid and don't be scared. Like the little young little young intern on Run and Tell That. Don't be scared. So these young folks ain't scared.
That's sure right.
These young folks ain't scared. They just need these old folks to come back with them and fight fire with fire. These young folks ain't playing, man. At the end of the day, hey, they'll cuss you out and they'll stand by what they say.
Oh yeah, they ready to fight.
Yeah, I'm ready to fight with them.
They ready to fight. Yeah. But why are we always last on every list? Why are we always at the bottom of the totem pole? Like my good sister Ramona Stiles just said a few minutes ago, we're always at the bottom of who that was. That was Ramona Drayton Jackson. I thought it was Ramona Stiles. I got my glasses on now. But Ramona said we're always at the bottom of the totem pole. The political parties have one common agenda that they do agree on: to continue to keep Black Americans in challenging situations, bottom of the economic totem pole. So we can always be the underclass, the working class, the underserved, the marginalized. We are those people. And they feel like if they gave us reparations, then it would be too many of us lifting ourselves out because we see the system now. We know that you need land. We know that you need property. We know that you need these things in order to have any type of status in this country. But they tricking us right now today into selling all our property. Then you take this money, and then next thing you know, you paying rent to somebody when you had a home. You know, so in this gentrification, they come in, they tear down the house and build a new one, and they either they come in and renovate yours, and they brought it for 50, and they got it up for 200,000 now.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
they're making money hand over feet, but we are not thinking like that. We're the ones that's not thinking, how do we move up also on that totem pole, so that we can have generational wealth also, so we can leave our kids something. And that's what the whole problem is.
Yeah. And you know what? It's, you know, I know people when they watch us or whatever, and we say they, and some people say, who they is. One time it used to be, when we say they, it used to be the white folks. Man, the white folks, the boom. Right. Now, they could be anybody. It could be our folks now.
Oh, it's mostly some of our folks. It's about 70-30 now.
That's right. That's right. So when we say they, that's all of them, man.
Yeah, you got a whole government here that's 9 Democrats, 7 African Americans out of the 9, and they still aren't doing anything for the underserved communities over here. But they'll start in the next 6 months, because that'll be a year before the election. They'll start doing things, trying to act like they've been doing something all along. But you can't pull the wool over these people's eyes no more. There's going to be some prices to pay. Guarantee you that.
Yeah.
You know, Jamal, reparations, Jamal, how do we get our reparations?
So how do we get it?
Yeah, because they don't want to. They're giving $33 billion to the Ukraine. They already probably gave them 20 or 30 already. And they giving them weapons and everything else to fight a war. Are they going to give us weapons to fight them?
Good question. Yeah.
Reparations from this government just have to be something that is constantly on the minds of us, and we put it out there constantly. That we know each generation of children who come into this world who are Black, that we have to let their minds be infused with the fact that reparations will be a part of, even if they don't want to discuss it in the schools, in our neighborhoods, in our communities. So I say, how many of us actually talk about reparations and seek to get reparations? How many of us have those conversations? I'm like saying, how many people in your family talk about reparations? How many people in your churches, in your civic organizations, your people at your neighborhood, how many of them talk about reparations? And so that's why for us, it has to be something that we constantly put out there, saying that we are entitled to and we are supposed to have, because for Caucasians, that's why they tend to feel that they're entitled just to have things in general. And we see that. That's not anything. That's just factual. That if they can come and take a country from a group of Native Americans, and so again, they felt entitled to that. So, and they infuse that in their history and their story. So right now with us, you know, how many of us infuse in our children, our grandchildren, our great-grands, that they should ultimately always be focused on and getting reparations and doing the work to get it. Because again, like, it's not just saying giving it to us, but doing the work to get it.
Yeah, and you're right. That those conversations aren't taking place in our communities.
Yeah,
and it needs to, Mr. Bernard.
Right.
But you know what? Even though you're right, you're right, Jesus, you're absolutely right. But what if you're in a house that don't know? You know what I'm saying? They only know what they hear. You got to do if you're gonna have this conversation, you have to make sure you got your history. When you sit down talking to your family, say, okay, this is the history right here. Okay, the Indian, they found it. Black folks built it. Caucasians stole it. And then you go on and on and on and on and on and on, and you teach it. So when you teach a kid, if they're 4 years old, and you teach a kid and you constantly teach, by the time they get 14, they'll be a Malcolm Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King or something. They know their history. I think most of us Black folks, and to be honest, and I'm not trying to knock any, most of us Black folks really don't know our history. Really don't know our history. Okay, and I guarantee you, I'm gonna put it out there. The older I got, that's when I started learning my history about America. When I was growing up, we didn't. Only person we heard about it was Martin Luther King, and that and all that was a lie too when they was telling us that. So the bottom line is we have to learn our history before we can go out there and have these conversations in our homes at the end of the day. And one of the reasons is the white folks, they keeping their history so they don't want to be embarrassed by their grandkids, kids, because we can sit down and have a summit on American history, and I guarantee you, it'll favor us. I guarantee you.
Okay.
Well, and I'll add to that. The sad thing about it is you look at how many of our community members, our people our ancestors have been mentally, physically abused and killed intentionally. And then you look at the Reagan era where we get this trickle down thing that has hurt our communities even worse, and it added to poverty. Then we get to the modern day era and we're talking about, we don't want to talk about race in schools. No, you want to talk about how your ignorant people has created this catastrophe, and you want to create more catastrophes. And by the way, the criminal justice system was designed to legalize slavery without calling it slavery. Say what you will, that's what it is. And so it's just alarming to me that what you're saying is right, Bernard. I think the only, when I came to school, it was the exact same way. I think the thing that woke me up was, I went to Windsor Forest, and this is the bad part of Windsor Forest. I'm gonna be real. I went to Windsor Forest. I lived in Liberty City, right? You're gonna bust us 10 miles almost to go over there to integrate these schools that still weren't integrated around in the 90s, late 90s. And I'm thinking, oh, these are my peers. We're getting along. It didn't dawn on me till later, right? 15 years later, when we had our first reunion, the only people that showed up to the reunion were the folks like us. So it dawned on me like, dang, I'm getting it now. So it's alarming that, we are excluded from knowing the history of America, not Black history, the history of America, this dark part. They don't want us to know about how their ancestors basically financially, mentally, and physically raped our people, and now we ain't gonna talk about it no more. I don't agree with that. And it's just a cycle that keeps happening. And just like the other issue, until we stand up and demanding different, no, not demanding different, until we stand up and take back our power, it ain't gonna be given to us.
Yeah. And I think with Jesus, I'm put Jesus on the spot. Jesus, man, have knowledge and history. I mean, this dude have more history than the damn history book, right? So why don't you run for office to make a change in Savannah, Georgia? I'm just asking you. I ain't trying to put you on the spot. I'm just asking because you is an asset to them. You can make a change in this city. You can by yourself. You have people following you. So my question is for you. Really, what you waiting on? What you waiting on?
Come on, man.
You bigger than that. You bigger than that. You bigger than that. So sit up in that chair.
Sit up in that chair.
Talk to us, man. Seriously.
I have no problem expressing my thoughts about it. My views are not the views of most people. My views and the things that I look at and how I look at it. And in fact, what's so funny, I was going to share this with some other people. I only tolerate people. I just merely tolerate people. That's all. I really just tolerate people. I tolerate people because my views, when people talk about somebody is radical, somebody is militant, I look at folks like, y'all don't even know what that is. Y'all don't even know, because my views, I tolerate this world that I'm in right now because my views and my opinions are not going to be cool with a lot of people, and some people can't handle it. And I share with folks, and I share this with y'all. I think some of y'all may have heard this. When I graduated from law school, I ran for office. I ran for alderman for the same district that I'm sitting in right now over here in Cloverdale on the west side of the city, Savannah, Cala, Brownsville. And one of the things I realized and I saw the amount of behind that people had to kiss. I told folks, I can't kiss behind. And people wanted me to show respect. People wanted me to show respect to certain people who had been important to the civil rights movement in the city of Savannah. And some people who some of y'all agree with. And I was like, no, you know, I wasn't going to do that. And that's why, because I've not been a part of their world. And so that's why me and some other folks know, they're like, you know, Jamal, and you people said, you know, they said, Jamal, you would never be recognized there because you did not do the normal stuff that the rest of people supposed to do. The rest of them supposed to be doing about going about showcasing who they are and looking out for themselves. Where my thing has always been about, I am from the people, I'm of the people, and that I can critique the people, I can critique leadership. And so people don't like that, and I ain't got time to try to play. For me to sit up there, I will get explosive. So when I said the comments like 3 weeks ago about that, we need to burn this place. No, early last month, when I said we need to burn the place down, I'm like, and I was real about that. For it, and some people can't handle it. Even I said on the show earlier, somebody could understand, like, well, burn it down, but rebuild. I'm like, no, you got to burn it down to rebuild, to bring about new growth. That's why I'm serious about that. I know, so I ain't saying you got to burn all the buildings down, but I'm like, people have to be gone. So now let me go and take it to another level. Sarge in a soldier story said, some of us need killing. I'm paraphrasing. Some of us need killing. Some of us need to be killing because it needs to end. So see, when I start talking like that, see, some people can't handle that. There are other people out there, when I say it, they understand what I'm talking about. They know what time it is. I'm like, some things got to be gone. If not even physically killing them, they have to be removed altogether. But then some of us, like I say, even my own relatives, I don't even claim them as relatives because they have pulled some treachery regarding our ancestors that now other people, they think there's nothing to it. So that's why I'm saying, my brother, then what I will do, I will be what people call extreme and other things like that. But because people see how I function around here, everybody think Jamal is just like us. Jamal is not like y'all. That's why I have principles and I have ideals that I live by, and that sometimes I don't go against those principles. I will tolerate people. So my brother, you know, I would love to do that, but I ain't kissing no behind, and that I know I have to kiss behind because I've seen it, because I see it right now with people, and that people like, that's what you got to do. No, I ain't what I got to do, which I know we can go and fight, but for me to fight this, then I got to have money. And so now let me break it down what Harold Washington said. Harold Washington said this right here. Y'all got to guarantee me X number of thousands of dollars for me to run for mayor of Chicago. Y'all want me to run? Y'all got to do that. And guess what? The people who want to see me run ain't guaranteeing me no money like that. You guarantee me that money, then guess what? Jamal going to talk about burning down, killing, and all the other stuff like that. And y'all just be ready for me having that type of conversation.
Yeah. And you're right. You know what? It's people, what I get is people, when we express our opinion and we passionate about what we say, they scared us. They scared us. Oh Lord, here come another one of these radicals. Oh Lord. And then they run in their house and hide. You know what I'm saying? They'll throw a rock, hit your window, and then run and hide. You got to stay. Hey, if you can't stand up for something, then you might as well say you ain't nothing.
Well, and if I could add that, Bernard, to what Teray said, the sad thing about it is people want you to come up through the ranks. Nobody, and this gets me with the black political leadership, the old guard in Savannah. Well, I have a level of respect for them. You can't tell somebody you got to come up through a certain rank or you got to pass our rites of passage to lead the people, especially when I got more nuts than you, especially when I'm not afraid to, you know, I ain't never been afraid to say what I got to say. Now, some people may not like it. It might come out politically incorrect, but at some point, somebody's got to be the Malcolm X of the situation to stop being scared of the next person. You know, it kills me how, you know, a lot of people like Teray who can't run because, and I don't mean to step on toes, but I'm gonna call some names. Our former mayors that look like us, our state representative that took Mickey's seat, a number of others who are afraid because the ones on the opposite set of the opposite race who funded their campaigns, they're scared to offend them. You rarely even hear them say the word black. Like, and I don't mean no harm when I say this. It is what it is. The facts are out there. I can guarantee you, you will not hear this man talk about Kessler, but he'll sure go tell black moms to go watch out for their kids, and it's the fault that they're out there doing all this crime. That's the problem. And I know a lot of people don't like me to hear that for various reasons. I don't care. What's wrong is wrong. What's right is right. You can't sit here and disregard your own community for $1. I don't believe in it. I'll give you a great example. They wouldn't even support. Go ahead, Julius.
I thought that we retired that old guard, but they just kept coming back and back and back. I thought we retired them, but we're going to retire them in the next 24. In the next 24 months, they will be retired. Guarantee you, they will be retired in the next.
They might be retired, but they've got to understand that at the end of the day, it's like I told people when I ran with Daniel. You're gonna still be a black person as a city leader. I don't care how much you want to get away from your blackness. You're gonna still be that black boy mayor, and you need to realize that you're gonna still be that black boy alderman, and you got to realize you can't take that off. So why be ashamed of it,
Jamal?
To share this with you all, the old guard and retiring, you don't never retire. You know why? Because they groom people. They groom another generation. That old guard, they now have people in their, they have people in their teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s who are just like them. All it's just a continuation. That's why I say you got to wipe that mentality out. I'm just like saying, hey, you got to be like Mao Zedong and Russia, like they did in China. They're like, hey, not that I agree with it. They're like, we got to get rid of that mentality. We got to get rid of them. Now I say sergeant and soldier strike, all it does. And that's what happened. Those people are still here. And guess what? Some of the people that y'all are talking about, they have that mentality like the people, what we say that old guard, they're in their 40s. They have children. So it continues. And so now we have to kill that mentality. Some scripturally, people talk about the killing of a certain mentality, a certain element, a thing within the human being. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to kill it because it continues. All they do, they groom them. And just to throw this last thing out there, it is wrong for us, and like I shared earlier, it is wrong for us when we go and say that next generation is not doing the work. And like what I share with folks, guess what? The elders are not doing the work. The middle-aged people like us not doing the work, and the young people not doing the work. It's all of us not doing the work. But we want to make it easy to hold younger people accountable when I'm like saying none of them are doing the work. And because guess what? We would not have to worry about any old guard, and we won't have no worry about accountability of leadership. Because we got people around here right now running for office who should not be running for office because they're telling people just go pray about the issues that are occurring. But then the old guard, the old elders know about it. The people like you, Bernard, myself, we know about them also, and younger people who just graduated from college. Everybody, so I'm like looking like, what the hell? Y'all know this person like got the mentality like that, but y'all supporting this person in this election. So that's why I say all of us, you just pick a group of people that you want to work with and then get them. If you want to be with the elders, you work with the elders. If it's the middle age group, you work with them. If young people, then you work with them. So that way, all of us can then be on the get a group of people who are going to be a part of the vanguard. And that's what the problem is. That again, they groom the people, but it's just that we don't groom people coming after us to do that. The young do their thing, the middle do their thing, and then the elders do their thing, and each one of them blaming one another for what the issues are. I'm like saying, fool, y'all better understand. We are all unified, and that's why my thing is always collective.
Well, I think you're absolutely correct. And what we have to do is we have to groom. And it's competing where we can't come together and understand that we need people that's fighting for the people, because it's not getting better for us like it is for everybody else. People come here from nowhere. Even other Africans come here and prosper faster than we do that have been here all our life. And it's a condition that we have to get out of. And you're right, Dr. Torre, because what we need to do is make sure that we groom these people ourselves. We got to find those next leaders, like the students that you're grooming now. These young ladies are awesome. Awesome. They're ready to fight. Where the men at? These young women are ready to fight. I'm talking about actually fight.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
wait a minute.
And that's and you're right, and that's the problem. That's the problem, man. It's the women are ready. These young knuckleheads, man, all they want to do is go shoot one another, rob this, and treat these young ladies like they're just nothing. And that's what get me, man. And it just pissed me off. I call them my 10 daughters. I got 10 daughters. They my daughter friend. It's 10 of them. And they come in my house all the time, back and forth, back and forth. And everything they say about these young boys, they're lazy. They don't know how to talk to us. They always, talking about doing, going to do things they ain't got no business to do. And they say we in this alone. We don't have nobody to we can look up to. But you, they call me Brownie. But you, Brownie, and your friends. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. We ain't gonna always. Jamal ain't always gonna be here. Jules, you ain't always gonna be here. I'm not always gonna be here. RG not gonna always be here. I'm so damn scared to leave my child and these 10 girls. I'm nervous. We all they got. They ain't got nobody fighting for them but us. Until we get to those knuckleheads and let them stand up and be a man and pull their pants up, we in trouble.
And I think too, and I think we do a good job of this, but I even think for myself, as much as I disagree with my own daddy and we don't agree on much, I think that group of gentlemen, they had a talk less, do more attitude. And so you look at the Richard Moles, the Otis Mosses, my dad included, they had no choice but to do. And we saw that. It's not that we're not doing it. I just think that these young men they're not able to translate watching and adjusting behavior. And what I mean by that is this. You get a young man now and see if they can change a tire, right? It's probably going to be far and few between. And so it's going to take mentoring programs like Male Dreamers and like Tiffany got in the Athens Mobs, like our fraternities. We have a debutante program with Beta Phi Lambda, Alpha Alpha, and grooming our men, just taking them by the hand and just saying, "Come here, young brother." And some of them have issues. And our Black community, we've got to find a new way of doing that. We've also, a lot of people gonna get mad what I'm about to say, especially the Black church. We've also got to be open to talking to our young Black males and our young Black sisters who identify as lesbian and gay, and stop being afraid of the issue, right? Because a lot of those populations don't want to be bothered because we always are talking down or saying what's wrong with them. Well, maybe it's not wrong. Maybe it's we need to understand and be a little more open to having communication and conversation. The biggest disconnect personally I see in the Black community is that we don't want to have conversations. We want to take our assumptions, make that the truth, and run with it, cut you off, your voice is eliminated, and now we got a problem. But we aren't open enough to have a real honest conversation and mentor and do a little more. We're going to have this issue over and over and over again.
So Rebecca said that she suggests we start dropping the word groom. What word would you want us to replace in it? We got to recruit people who are going to do the right thing. We got to groom them. We have to make sure that they understand that they have an obligation that to the people and not to themselves. We have to make sure that we mentor them in the correct way, because if we don't, then what do we have coming up behind us? A bunch of sellouts. We don't need that no more. That's what we got right now. It's a price to pay coming up in the next 12 and 7, 19 months, 18 months. It's a price to pay, and that price we're going to collect on the debt. A lot of people lied and betrayed us, and we're going to collect on the debt. They think that they are powerful enough. But that takes us to this next subject, the slap that was heard around the county. And don't you go nowhere. Turn your light on. We want to need people to see who you
got
are.
slapped?
Who that is back there. The slap.
Who got slapped?
It was a young man that was invited to meet somebody, meet Stacey Abrams, and then he was disinvited.
You so
And
messy.
and
Marjorie, you messy as get out. Why you messy? You don't even allegedly.
So we're not gonna get deep into it, but that
Allegedly.
young man was uninvited because somebody told a lie because somebody didn't want that young man in the room. Now, why did you invite that young man and then 2 days later call and uninvite that young man?
What was the lie told them?
Hey, you lost
the
me.
lie told was that Stacey didn't want that young man in the room, but Stacey Camp, not Stacey. Stacey's people chose not to have that young man in the room because he's too controversial and because he had a record.
But that's the problem now. I'm sorry, but that's the problem we got in the black community now. We cannot. Here's the thing. Me and Bernard set a great example. We will disagree vehemently on issues, but at the end of the day, I will have a drink with him and I'll defend him at the end of the day. We've got to stop disregarding people because they have a different opinion or they don't agree with us. At the end of the day, I don't give a dog on what you did. That's between you and God. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care where you piss. I don't care. What I care about is what's in your heart and what are you going to do for the people on the ground. I don't care about you. We're not going to agree on everything. And people need to realize, stop being so angry because a person had an experience. So what? You ain't no better than the next man. Just because you were mayor, or just because you were a senator, you ain't got nothing no more than the next man. You're going to die just like me and be in a coffin.
We just don't know about it. That's all that is. Because everybody got skeletons in the closet.
Everybody.
We just don't know about it.
Everybody.
We just don't know about it. And so they want to play holier than thou. And, for full transparency, that young man was me.
He wanted to say that so bad, Bernard.
That young man was me. I was invited. And then I was uninvited the next day before the meeting on Saturday. I was invited on Thursday. I was uninvited on Friday because they say Stacey Camp didn't want. Now their excuse was that I don't know whether you trying to get back in or you wanted to stay out.
I was trying to get back in.
Okay, so the excuse was that young man had a record and had did prison time. Now, that's a lie that they said that Stacey's Camp did it. I know it is because, it might have been somebody at Stacey's Camp who got the direction from somebody else here locally in Savannah. But Stacey often talks about her drug addict brother who stays in and out of prison. She talks about it. I don't know whether anybody ever listened or read the book, but she talks about it. So I don't see her doing that, but I don't know whether somebody in her camp did it and she don't know about it. But I know that the powers to be here that will soon feel my wrath.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Did it. So,
oh, Lord.
I don't make promises I don't keep.
So my thing is this. What the hell that got to do with what that got to do with you being in a room with Stacey, whoever she is, at the end of the day? What that got to do with you? Yeah. Okay? This will get me. I hate these hypocrite Negroes. I hate them. They fake. They talk behind your back. You know what I'm saying? They're in your face and kidding you behind your back at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And you say, Stacey, her camp. If you the head man of your camp, you know everything.
Hello.
You know everything. So she don't get no pass. She don't get no pass. None of them get no pass. Ain't nothing gonna come by there unless she know it.
Well, the only thing is with that premise is that I know that the situation is bigger than me right now. It's bigger than me right now. And I know for the greater good of the community, I don't care. I really didn't. The person who invited me, he'll tell you, I didn't really want to go. I had a show to do. But I got Dr. Bryant to do my show, to do the show that we do together by itself, and I was going to go to the meeting. But anyway, I know it's bigger than me, and I didn't want. I'm not here to throw shade on anybody except those ones locally who you will see me and you will feel me.
So I got a question.
You worry about that. I promise you that.
So I got a question.
You mad?
I got a question.
No.
So by if you would have went to the meeting, so that's gonna make somebody not vote for her. You gonna cause them to lose some vote.
What it was when I was in.
You gonna cause them to lose some vote? I'm
No,
gonna tell you right now. She done lost my vote. She done lost
It was
my
pettiness.
vote.
No, it was pettiness. What it came down to is
it's the local people, Bernard.
right. Local people being petty.
Yeah, she ain't there too.
Stacy. You want to help?
Ain't got time for that.
Come in and help me do what I'm gonna do in a few months to them.
Hey, boy, you got that much power in Savannah. Damn, boy, you good.
But no, I'm gonna be very clear with you.
I'm gonna show them just how much power I got.
But two parts of this. So, but no, I'm gonna tell you because I saw Warnock. My campaign wasn't that big, but Warnock. Let me tell you something. Stuff like that. Who gonna come be in the room to see you, work with you? Warnock would never hear that. It has layers. It go from 4 people before it get to Warnock, right? That's not how that works. So it was pettiness. At the end of the day, what bothers me with folk, especially black folk, is you got yourself and family members who have done things that you ain't been proud of, and yourself and family members who are experiencing life. And how dare you pretend that you God and judge somebody when, again, who you think you are, just because you can have a title. I just want people to realize that at the end of the day, things that go around will come around. Your nastiness and your wickedness and all that pettiness, when it come back to eat you, don't be mad. Yeah. I don't understand why we do that to one another. Then, we the same people doing that, talking about why we don't get along, is y'all. Y'all who want to sit there and restrict folks.
Well, Mr. Jesus looked like he stepped forward a little bit, so he might have something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Julius.
I want to say this to you, Julius Hall. You need to let love in your heart. You need to let God be in your heart. You need to let God be in your heart. You need to let love in your heart. You need to not have a hard heart. So that's what I want to say to you. I'm giving you the word. Do not have a hard heart, and let love in your heart. Let God in your heart, Julius Hall. Just want to let you know that. That's all I want to say.
And
Dude, let me answer that for you. Better. Let me rebuttal. Dude, let me answer that. I got you, bro. I got you.
Mute him. New producers, mute him, please. New producers, mute him.
You, they left.
Hey, I got you. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, man, y'all leave this man alone. Leave this man alone, man. Leave this man alone. Y'all don't even know who this man know. Y'all right here running around think y'all know. Y'all don't know. Leave this brother alone, Jesus and y'all. Please. Please. This man ain't got time for all that nonsense in this house. Leave him alone. Okay? And do your job, man. Do your job.
Hey, James Brown was out. James Brown was on stage doing coke, and y'all was supporting him.
Boy,
I'm just saying.
they underestimate what we're doing, and it ain't just me. There are people. The reason I can say what I say is because there's not just me. It's an army. It's a small army, and we will get our just due. We will get what we got coming to. A debt will be paid that is owed. And like I said, it ain't just me. I'm just one of the voices in it. They will feel what we got coming for them, and they will feel it fairly soon. I have no problem with anybody. Do what you want to do. I've been dead. I've been dead 30 years ago. I've been dead. It just so happened God just brought me back for a little bit to do whatever I can do. So do what you want to do to me. Say what you want to say to me. I don't care. I really don't. The only reason I'm bringing it up is to put it out there so people can see the nastiness of these people. People fight me personally when I'm fighting them politically. I'm going to fight you politically all the way to the grave. if you're not doing what you need to do for these people. And that's just who I am.
Yeah.
That's who I choose to be. Don't hate me for who I am now. And don't hate me for who I was 30 years ago.
Right. That's between you and God.
Yeah, because what I'm coming to do to you, you ain't gonna like.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
God is not pleased with you, Julius Hall. God is not pleased with you.
Boy, this boy.
You got him on the line? See if you can get him on the line.
And Bernard Brown, God does not want you to say anything on Julius Hall's behalf. Understand that. God does not. Julius Hall, God is not pleased with you, Bernard Brown, and that God is saying it is not a slap heard around the county. So Julius Hall, God is saying, stop with that. Stop with that. Bernard Brown, God just said it again, Bernard Brown. Don't say nothing. Be quiet.
It was an invisible slap.
Hey.
But I ducked back like that so they couldn't hit me. But they tried. But I didn't care. So
and I've been waiting out here in Cloverdale. My people, they had to run, go do something. I'm gonna leave if something occurs. Understand that I try to be out here to try to make sure it was gonna be all cool. But I can't stay here. I got to go. So I'm driving back home. So I guess, if something happens here, if another slap.
See that.
I know. But they ain't made it back. They're gonna probably come when I'm headed back now.
Go see your frat brother.
They did a detour.
Go see your frat brother in Liberty City.
No, he got a frat brother who house he in front of.
Go see his frat brother in Liberty City because he get on my nerves.
Hey, Devon need to go get married. He need to go get married. So
God is not pleased with you, Robert Bryant, on what you just said.
I know it.
I guess God pleased with you. I guess God is pleased with you.
Hey, Heavens B. Jenkins High School.
Hey.
Hold on, Jamal, don't go nowhere. We give her 5 more minutes while we talk on this next subject.
Emperor. God said go to Emperor, Jamal.
Give her 5 more minutes while we talk on this next subject. This is you all the way here. I am it's and I want to take my head off to you 3 guys, because without you 3 guys and Pastor Smalls and a few more guys, a few more people, I can't call everybody names. There's about 50 of us, but you guys are on with me on all the shows, doing everything that needs to be done, and I am so proud of y'all. I want to tell y'all right here that I love you. And you all are doing a great service to the community, and I appreciate everything that y'all do, every show that y'all help me promote, every show that y'all help me host, everybody that y'all help us to get on these shows so that we can bring the information to our community. And what is so important is some of the things that Professor Torre, all his students call him, Dr. Torre out at Georgia Southern. I had the opportunity to sit in the class yesterday to help him grade his students. He had a panel of us out there. I wasn't disinvited to that damn panel. I was on that panel. And so I was out there, and we helped question the students as they gave their presentations for their final exams. And it was awesome. I loved it. And he teaches an awesome class out there. And 2 of the girls came in. They're now interns. Y'all saw them when the show started. They're interns, and they came in and they stayed here they've been here since 2 o'clock, and they left at 7. So they've been here 5 hours learning everything to do, engineering shows and producing shows and everything that we're doing here. And I'm so glad that you pour so much into these students. These students are the new leaders of tomorrow. They are not going to let our history be lost. And one of the things, Gullah Geechee, a lot of people don't like to call themselves the Gullah Geechee people. But when you're Gullah Geechee, that means that you're African American. You are here. You are Gullah Geechee. They used to call me Geechee when I was a little boy because I loved rice. I didn't eat anything without rice. Right now, my wife can tell you I don't eat nothing without rice now.
Yeah.
So they called me Geechee because I loved rice. Give me rice and butter beans and chicken wing. I was happy. I was in heaven. You didn't give me nothing else. Probably a side of macaroni or something, some cream corn or something over. But listen, when you're black, you are Gullah Geechee. You are Geechee. You just got to understand the term. Stop thinking that it's something derogatory. Professor Torre, would you just please give us a synopsis of all of this and the class and everything that you're doing, sir? Because I'm proud of what you do. I was really proud to be in that class. I really felt honored to be there yesterday.
Well, I won't necessarily push the class per se, but I'll share this that Julius Hall, Alderman Keisha Gibson Carter, Representative Dr. Tanya Howard Hall, and then Alicia Miller Blakely, Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely came, and then Sister Savannah Gil Walker, Edie at the Civil Rights Museum, and again, Julius was right there. And what was interesting, that when Julius heard some of the students speak, he said, "You must be listening to our shows. You listen to our shows. That we just discussed."
Very good.
Like, and so, because what really the deal is, we take what we talk about right here, we take that into the classroom. We don't make it separate. We take it right there because as we're going to say, they are leaders of today. Right now, they are the leaders, and so that's the thing. And we talk about the issue. We talk about displacement. We talk about we have a responsibility to one another, that we have to make sure we educate ourselves and that we got to support each other economically. So we infuse it, because the thing people are going to say, we are consistent about what we talk about. We just don't come on the show and talk about it. We are consistent. We infuse it in our life. That's what we're going to do. And so so we are honored about that. But being Gullah Geechee people, what that means essentially that you have a close link to Africa. A lot of other black folks in this country feel like they don't have a connection. But guess what? If you're in coastal Georgia, you have a connection to Africa, unlike many other people in this country, that you have a better connection than many other people. So that what that means, you should have a sense of pride that none of us should be around here acting like we got to find out who we are. Only thing we should be determining what we want to do right now, because we got so many things we should be doing. And so, and with that, and we focus on our culture right here in coastal Georgia and in the city of Savannah, and letting people understand that we got a sense of pride, that you might try to come at us, or what one of the phrases people say, man mean it for bad, God mean it for good. And that's who we are. That again, when these people come in at you, hit you all this negative stuff, they trying to make you bad, but God put you here so you can do good and doing a good work. And so in the class that we talk about the culture and the history, and then we have another class about the diaspora. In that class right there, we trying to show black folks, no matter where you are, we're all connected. That's why I tell people, that's why I say for me, Jim, my tone is when I say that I don't believe in saying that we're divided as young people, as middle-aged people, as adults. I'm like, no, that's the enemy saying that type of stuff, put it in our heads. I'm like, we are here collectively. We might have different thoughts, but guess what? How do we get better? Just like was shared on the show earlier, that with regard to when we communicate with one another, we can understand. And life is about evolving. And so, and just like even though they may never have saw the shows that's on our Black Media Network, they're getting information that is congruent information, that is common information for people who want to liberate. And that's what we try to do. We seek to liberate, not try to. That's what we do. We seek to liberate. We seek to liberate our people and look out for us and to empower us. I tell folks what we do. We inspire, inform, and enlighten and empower. And that's what we got yesterday. And Julius Hall came in there, told people some stuff. So now I have a nickname with them called CL. CL is the nickname because Julius Hall came in there and began sharing some stuff. And I'm just sitting just like looking like, wow. I'm like, ain't this something right here? And so
they still want to know what CL means. You want to
know? And then Julius Hall tried to hit him one time and say, I want y'all to give me solutions. They were like, oh, we already did that. We addressed the resolution that was done. And he like, oh. So again, that's right. That was so they addressed the resolution that has gone to the governor's desk that they thought was inadequate. So here go politicians create a resolution that here go students in my class looked at it like, that's inadequate. And they can look at it and they piece it and say, wait a minute, this is about exploitation. They saw that. And so that's what we do. Because again, it's consistent because again, that's why all of us are in this fight right here. And again, we were honored to have them there and that now they began to understand about making connection because we got somebody who said she's going to run for city council of Tybee. She's going to run for mayor of Tybee.
And this was a white student. He had white students in the class also. Yeah. She's running
That's
for.
what you need.
She's gonna run for office in Tybee. We had people that said that they were political science majors that wanted to come and learn about the politics. You know, these are where the young people for our future are being groomed, and we got to get a hold of them before the sellouts get them.
Right, and that's
But
exactly,
but
and that's it exactly, because that when we talk that old guard, that's what they do. They not get them and they groom them. So you have that group of people who follow suit, and that they continue to still have that group of people like them, and then they're going to train people just like them. And so you have generations upon generations, generations. That's why we got generations of liberation. Let's focus on having our generation of liberation, our liberation generations.
but Jesus, if you could real quick talk about, people, the Gullah Geechee culture, the Sapelo Island, the Fusky Islands, and the importance of those areas.
Well, actually, and see, now I'm going to tell you, my brother, I tell people this, that often they have us focus on the islands.
Mm-hmm.
It's us right here. Because the very thing that people talk about Hilton Head, guess what? I tell them, you talking about Hilton Head, what about Savannah? What about downtown Savannah? What about what we see on Montgomery Street right now? Neighborhoods and communities that were predominantly African American, no longer that. So now why I say that's why my people, again, I tell them, say that's why we don't focus on one area. We look at the totality of it all. We put it all together. So that way you come at me one way, guess what? I'm gonna let you know, like, oh no, if you come at people right down there in Brunswick, guess what? I'm gonna come at you because I understand it's just a matter of time that you come at me in Savannah. Or if you do it on St. Simon's Island, it's a matter of time before you come do me in Savannah or in Richmond Hill, because we see that. So, and that's why I say, so again, it's about displacement. Because guess what? You hear Keisha Brooks talk about displacement. Guess what? That's what has happened on Hilton Head, happened on DeFusky, has happened on Sapelo, has happened in Camden County, it's happened in Woodbine, it's happened in Kingston, it's happened in Brookman, it's happened in Richmond Hill, it's happened in Riceboro, it's happened in Hinesville, it's happened in Garden City, it's happened in Savannah. So that's what I tell you.
Which makes Ahmaud Arbery's issue even much more of a slap in the face.
So, and again, and then we see with regards to how we get treated right here. So that's why it becomes important that when you have African Americans who talk about, go teach people talk about how they didn't know their history even when they were in high school, like the Weeping Time. Because we had a session at Georgia Southern on the Weeping Time, and everybody from the people who were in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s, all saying they never knew about it. So that's why it becomes so important for us to not have these conversations and talk about it and never run away from it. That's why I say when my brother Bernard was saying something, some people ain't gonna like what I gotta say, because I understand the pain and the anguish that has happened here for generations here. And that I'm looking at people like, for instance, just throw it out there. One time Black folks had to pay for the books that their kids, they had to pay a tax, not tax, they had to pay for the books that their kids got, and the books that the kids got were inferior books. And they were impoverished. But then guess what? And then also, guess what? They didn't go to school 5 days a week. They went to school like every other day. So some went to school 2 days a week, some went to school 3 days a week. So we're going to talk about this type of stuff. So I'm like saying, I know this type of stuff. So that's why last week when y'all had said the thing, I said, I got a right to be hostile and be angry. I got a right to feel that way. I got a right because I know my story. And so I'm like saying, listen here, I function in this world, but I have the anger of my ancestors, because I'm like, it was disrespectful for them that here go kids in Chatham County going to these high schools here who did not go to school 5 days a week. And their parents had to pay for their books that were inadequate books. And sometimes they said that they didn't even get the books. So guess what? You're going to tell me about some stuff that happened in 2022? I'm thinking about 1903 and 1914 and 1913. I'm like saying, this has been a long gone story. And I'm like saying, so that's why I don't have the patience to be kissing nobody behind.
Well, I got a few people that want to say a few words to you. And one of them said, Jamal goes right from wanting to burn things down to let love in your heart.
For Julius Hall.
And then it said, Issa Jesus tries to pass him off as a warrior. He was last seen doing the tomahawk chop.
Which in itself was what? Cultural appropriation, Ivan. But no, but to add to Jesus' the piece. If you go back to that broadcast where Dad was talking, and I want y'all, Terry, I want you to go over there and talk to him and really sit and do another broadcast. You know, he talked to me. I know this for a fact. People don't realize this, but during segregation back when, that he really was one of those students that y'all hear people talk about going to school with no shoes on. That was real. That was very real for them. Mm-hmm. And to now, I think the biggest disagreement is, you know, you got to think about it. If you ain't never had nothing and you got a little piece of change now, the biggest thing is letting go of $1 for him is a lot because he was so oppressed and his family was oppressed. And a 5 cent, a nickel to them was a lot. And it goes back to what you're saying, Jamal, and that it was just nastiness.
And my brother Julius Hall, one thing to share with you this too, but part of that same experience, what has been said is that I had, because there are many people who would not talk about this, but I knew, and I told folks then, what happened to us in Savannah, that there was an 80-year gap. I estimate I'm going to say 80-year gap. Well, we stopped talking about promoting our culture, which I'm letting people know it was your grandparents and your great-grandparents essentially stopped talking. They are part of that disconnect. They were the one, they caused that gap to occur. And so that's why we not deal with the gap, because they chose not to do it. And then some of us live by it. And like I said, we hail them up. I'm like, that's fine to hail them up. But also, you got to look at them squarely. So I had this lady who's now 86 years old. She said to me, she said, we came from bilingual homes here, bilingual homes. I knew what she was talking about. But I messed with her. I said, what you talking about? She said, we spoke Gullah at home and spoke English in schools. But later on, the schools forced us to start speaking Gullah. So of course, I asked her, I said, what school did you attend? She said, Beach. So that's why, again, it's not knocking Beach for her Beach alone, get all irate about. What you need to understand, no matter what, here was an institution that we still have power over, that they still would put in our heads that we were inferior. Even when you talk about that pride, that's why I say I have to deal with this type of stuff and live with this stuff, knowing this. So when people talk about it, that's why people, I'll tell you, some people like Queen Quet don't understand. Other people know, and Sister V know, don't push Jamal, because if you push Jamal not gonna bring this stuff out about you. People like Get You Cool to know, I'm gonna bring the stuff out that the stuff that's ugly. Because I had people come from Africa that I told them some stuff, they were like saying, he is so mean. I'm like, no, you thought that I'm just a dumb Black American that I don't know what time. You think I'm a dumb American. You think I don't know what time it is. I said, see, I can come out and call you out. Now to go ahead and hit you with that. And so here go us in Savannah, Georgia. We talk, I mess with people about our schools and they're trying to create some pride. But guess what? Our schools damaged us. All of them damaged us. Our schools, our Black schools have played a role in damaging us. Yes, they did some great things, but they also were the ones who tore us asunder. Because that's when Julius asked the question. And I didn't want to say it in the class like saying, yo, Julius, it was our schools. Our schools were the ones. And then our parents got caught up into it. And grandparents got caught. And great-grands got caught. And now that gap occurred. So now that's what we're fighting right now today. You have people that was here fighting just like Julius Hall. They were fighting just like Julius Hall here. Just like Robert Brown, just like Bernard Brown here, but you don't even hear anything about their story. They were fighting against a system right here. But guess what? Because our parents, and that's why I say, don't come to me about no old generation, about the young people. I'm like, because I want to use some language right now. That's why I say I have to always catch myself. That them jokers that are some of your grandparents right now, great-grandparents, they knew what happened right here. And they did nothing to tell y'all about it. So y'all act like it's brand new. I'm like saying, yo, this is the same stuff that went on. They talked about the elites in this city that basically made sure that Black folks were held down right here. Black elites in the city that held other Black folks down. Right. But guess what? Your grandparents and great-grandparents don't say nothing about it. And so now the children don't know anything about who are now grown people. So that's why I'm like saying, I have all this in me, and I'm like saying, I have to be civilized about it because it is absolutely wrong. And I say, we can't have no patience about this anymore. Some things do need killing. And yes, Rebecca, I say burn it down, but Julius Hall need to have some love in his heart that he don't need to be coming at people like that.
Well,
Bernard
ain't got nothing to say. Come on, America.
We're going to give him a show saying, just let him speak.
Yeah. Hey, let it go. Just let him go, man.
Really?
Hey, I know it. Hey, just let him go and call Jamal letting go. That's it. He let it go, man.
Yeah, he gonna let go. He gonna let go on everybody.
Hey, Hey, it's like they said, you know, when you open the door and you tell somebody come in, you know you don't want them in there, but it just busts and says,
It messed with the whole mood.
dude, instead of not letting you come in, they should not let him come in.
Yeah.
I was civilized. Civilized, Bernard Brown. I was civilized.
He more dangerous than you.
Yeah.
RG.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can pull a picture up.
Hey, I see this guy. I see him out there. He and she like this here, and I see Jamal. I was like,
but you know what though?
Stacy. Okay, little Stacy.
But you know what, Bernard, as I think about it, y'all remember, well, some of y'all may not know this, a lot of our young people don't. But the Black Panther Party, the only reason that they're not around today was because the government classified them as a terroristic threat, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but that's what happened in Savannah, really. And a lot of your older, respectful Black folk ain't gonna tell you that. But that's what happened. A lot of our Black folk deem other Black folk as terrorists in a similar way. And it bothers me. That's why today I'm so against a lot of the criminal justice system. And when you hear me say decriminalizing things, it's because the only people going to jail for stupid stuff is our people. And it's systematically designed that way. It ain't because folk want to. I tell people all the time, nobody wakes up in the morning saying they want to go do something that they ain't supposed to do. Yeah. But it's systematically developed that way. It's easy. I want you to go on most Black neighborhoods. You're gonna see you're gonna definitely see a liquor store. But I bet you if you go over on Hampshire Woods in Savannah, you ain't gonna see no liquor store over there. You gotta just sit back and look at how things are designed. You gotta go back in history and see that Dr. King ain't bother a fly. Probably didn't even kill a water bug or a roach. But they called him a terrorist. But you got somebody out here talking about grabbing people by the I almost said it. And that's okay. Y'all don't see the issues here?
Yeah. Y'all have y'all did a research on the Baron Nelson story? The boy he's fighting Comcast.
Byron Allen.
Allen, yeah. With Comcast and Trunk and all that. I mean, if you go on YouTube and you pull it up, that brother, hey, he didn't just make you laugh. That brother deep. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why people have issue with us, all us on here, because I don't even damn they have issue. I don't care. It's because we say what we got to say. We don't care. I always tell people say, what you do? I say, I'm a 1099. He said, what's a 1099? I'm independent contractor. You need me to work, I'll come work for you. But I'm my own boss. I say what I want to say at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? When you got control of your life and yourself and you don't work for you can say what you want to say, period. And I think the young lady, I met her and me and her went to school together. She said she would not run for office because she don't want that chokehold on her throat where she have to be dictated by somebody else. And that's true. When you in office, and y'all tell me, you in office and all of a sudden you got that chokehold on your throat that you can't say what you used to say before you got in office, before you running. At the end of the day, ain't nobody putting no chokehold. I'm gonna say what I got to say, period.
Well, you're right.
Is right and wrong is wrong.
You're right. I'll give a good example. I'll be honest, I work for a university, I work for Clemson. And I was on a panel a month ago about when they had a sit-in at Clemson, the Black students were pissed because the white students had hung bananas from trees. And I went to the whole, my spiel, and somebody said, you might want to watch such and such. You know what I did? Delete. I got off the thing. At the moment I feel like you're going to censor me or I can't say stuff and somebody going to be pissed off, I'm out. Because if we can have an honest conversation, it ain't my fault that your ancestors jacked up. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Your ancestors a mess. It is what it is. If we can't have an honest conversation, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'll dip on you.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, it's hard. And I always been, it's hard. People can't tell me what to do. I do what I want to do. It's always been that. I got beaten. My mama beat me and I'm still doing the same thing, man. It's hard to be living in this world and you got to watch what you say. You got to watch what you say. Man, I'm a grown man. I ain't watching what I got to say. I put it in a way that, okay, because big brother like Jules, he'll calm me down and,
Lord.
jail, all that. But at the end of the day, hey, see me backstage and you really see.
me and Quick got to step out back.
Yeah, let's get backstage. But at the end of the day, I came down here to help my sister, and she got a transportation company, and she deal with mental health people. And I've been around about 50 mental health people today, and man, it's a whole new different world. It's a whole new different world when you come to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just glad to be alive.
Yeah.
And I was in that vein, and I had them laughing and joking, and they ain't never. I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? You got to treat people right and stop talking about people and stop bringing up people past. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, at the end of the day, stop it. All us on this got to pass. And what makes it so? I was sitting down and I'm gonna let this say. I was sitting to me and my daughter always sit and just talk. And I tell her what's right and what's wrong. And I said, baby, and I said, this is what I did when I was back there in the past. This is what I did. And I really broke it down to her and told her what I did. I was like, but at the end of the day, I learn from it and you move on. She said, yeah. I said, yeah. I wasn't always handsome and smiling and, I did some things I shouldn't have did, but I did,
Hey, here's that secret meeting.
Why are you so mad?
Who
was that?
At the head of the table.
Who?
That Stacey
You
at the
so
head.
dirty. Why did you invite? Wait a minute.
Hey,
Wait
Robert.
a minute. Where was my
Hey,
invite?
Hey,
Where,
Robert.
I'm a state official. Where am I?
Hey, Robert, somebody in this room betrayed me. It's a Judas in the room.
Judas. He too, Judas.
Hey,
they want me to have love in my heart. But it was a Judas.
But sitting at the head of the table. Oh, come on now.
Who's that guy sitting next to him?
That look like, I can't see that well. I don't know. Look like Jay Jones.
No, ain't no Jay Jones.
Look like Bernard. I don't know. Might be. You know what? That's who is that, Bernard?
I don't know because they have a mask. They have a mask on.
Might be Judge Ike. Hey,
that's Judge Ike.
You probably think a mask, so he can't tell who it is. That's Otis Johnson.
Man, that man need to sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey. And you know who was. I'm gonna go back way back. Y'all may or may not know this person. You know who I wish was really around today who would tell a lot of them elite black folk who they were about themselves? Prince Jackson. He would let them know who they were about this. He'd tell them.
Yeah.
He'd tell them. I don't know if Jamal know him.
Hey. We ought to get Judge Ike so he can say that song. When you think of love, 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 love. Ever come sing the love song.
Look, watch this.
It's been longer than 5 minutes.
Well, we got a couple of more. Let me see. Carl said CRT is not stopping the teaching African American history. It's about the theory that all of America's systems, financially, socially, including schools, are or were designed to prevent non-white people from economic upward mobility. You're exactly right, Carl.
Ain't Carl supposed to be on this show?
Huh?
Isn't Carl a panelist on this show? My District 5 brother.
Yeah, he took a leave of absence.
Well, okay, that's all. The HR is back.
He can come back whenever he feels. Now, the city of Savannah gave some contractors $1.2 million, some developers $1.2 million. How is the city always in the business of giving white contractors money? They gave $33 million a bond to Kessler to build a garage. Now they're giving money to all these people to about affordable housing, knowing damn well when they get through building, it ain't gonna be affordable housing. They're just gonna pay the city back their money, and it ain't gonna be no affordable housing.
It's because Kessler gave to my campaign.
That's true too. Well, but you know that was back then. That was the other before he gave to his campaign. Now he's
But
giving.
y'all saw that reception the other day. You sure? You best believe somebody was in there. You best believe that. Listen,
Yeah.
you know.
Now this city council, minus the 3, voted to give these people $1.2 million out of a $19 million government
Fine.
grant, a fund that they had. They giving these people $1.2 million of it. These people said that when they came before the council the first time, that they didn't need nothing. They got everything. They're going to build some affordable housing. Now that this money done come up, somebody done called them and say, why don't y'all ask us for this money? Man, this is man, listen,
It's a
man, this
scam.
is corrupt, and they're doing it in our faces, and we act like we don't see it. And what gets me is the flunkies, Van's flunkies, those flunkies who claim that he's doing
Mute
such a
him.
great
Mute
job.
him. Don't call out the man's name. Mute him. Mute him.
Well, here's the
Please.
thing.
He's the mayor. You
We
know who
gotta
called
do a
out.
good.
I didn't call the flunky's name out.
We gotta do a good job of getting ahead of the issue and adding that to the shows and sharing it with people. The common person wouldn't know that, and I
Yeah.
can't blame them because you know an average person go to work, go home, and they're not thinking like that. But when we start presenting that information, I agree. It makes no sense to me that one man owns probably now 15% of the city and making money off of us.
Shante McLaughlin, you trying to get in our show?
Let her in. That's my dog, Winston Forrest. By the way, real quick side note, Woodville Tompkins, y'all get a shout out tonight. They got one of the Fulbright scholars or something like that, a national scholar, proud of that young black man. Back to the topic.
That's what we do at Woodville
But we
Tompkins.
got to give a shout out to that young black man. I love it. I love it. I love it. We got to do more of that.
Y'all
Oh,
better
she
stop.
did,
I
Bernardo.
see you calling my name as I was leaving. I wanted
Hey,
to
Shante.
comment. I
What's
was going to get my new co-host.
Hi,
Look,
Mr. Bobby.
Hey, Mr. Gregory.
So I wanted to comment on that conversation that y'all were just having about the developer, just to bring some information to that conversation. That looks like the reason why those developers are usually able to capitalize is because most women, Black women especially, don't understand the bonding process. So when they say things like you need $1 million bond, they hear $1 million. They don't know that it's usually like 5%. And you don't have to show 5%. You can just show that you have collateral. You could show a house. You don't put your house up, but through the bonding process, they end up outbidding because they have the vehicles, and then usually they partner with Black women businesses. And I can say this because at some point I was working with the one of the female-led construction unions here in Atlanta to try to help them get funding and resources. But they'd partner with them, get these big contracts for like $10 million to redo the roads, and then they'd give them like $200,000. And when they'd be questioning why they only had $200,000, which they usually didn't question, they were just grateful. But the reason why they were able to the Caucasians, Europeans, the people with skin a little lighter than ours, why they were able to secure these big budget projects is because they showed the women as 51% owners when they did the paperwork. And as long as they can show them as 51% owners, how the money's distributed, that's a personal thing. That impacts them one-on-one. Gregory, go. That impacts them. You know, it doesn't impact, y'all know how it is with Gregory. It doesn't impact just the women. It impacts like the overall deal, how it's structured. And so that's why there's all of these Caucasian companies with these big projects. And then the funding comes from the jails and the prisons. So if you look at the fact that Biden, which that's one of y'all's president, I ain't gonna say he's mine, I voted for him, but with the new package that he rolled out, he put $1 trillion into the police, and he put $0 into COVID relief efforts. So if they're overfunding the police, and now they take the police departments and the jails and the people who are incarcerated, because in Georgia, each incarcerated person accounts for $21,000. So that's not even privatized jails. Privatized jails is usually about $35,000. So for each person, so for instance, we've been advocating for someone out of Waycross, and there's 1,500 inmates there at $21,000 a person each year, and that's before commissary or vending or anything else. So that's how these jails and the libraries and the roads and these infrastructure developments get funded. So when you talk to the average working person who starts saying, give us more libraries, we need better libraries, you also have to look at how many people are going to be incarcerated. So anyways, thank y'all for letting me share that.
Okay, and we'll see you on your show in about.
They'll be kicking me off y'all show.
6 minutes.
Hey, bro, Shante, tell Bryce I need a babysitter tomorrow.
You bringing Coco?
Yeah.
You can bring him?
Yes.
Listen, Shante, we'll see you in about 6 minutes on your show. Unjust, 6 minutes, okay? Get ready for
and
your
y'all
show.
want to watch that because are you gonna talk about the guy? You gonna talk about the guy in Virginia?
I got 2 things we're gonna talk about. I'm bringing in a new co-host, so we'll be meeting her for the first time, and she's going to talk about what got her started with protesting and advocacy for one case. And then I'm going to talk about this young man, Jerry Chambers, who's out of Richmond, Virginia, how he went out with some of his white buddies feeling safe, and then woke up covered in a Confederate flag with a dildo on him and hate words all over his face and neck that look like White Lives Matters, KKK, things like that, and how it's been 2 years and there's been a lack of justice. So we'll be talking about that young man a little more.
All right.
So see y'all soon.
All
See you
right.
later, Don Lemon.
All right, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Until you do right by me, Robert.
Parting words, Issa.
All right, I won't say. I don't want us to cloud that issue with regard to what came up about that. Again, them getting that money, that over $1 million. That again, and that wasn't necessarily tied, not tied to Black women or anything like that. That was tied to deals that were made. That
Correct.
Again, just as you called it out, Julius, they said they didn't need anything, but folks told them to wait, and then gave them the monies like that. So that's why I'm like saying that's the type of stuff that we got to call out. And I'm like saying, I don't be making no goddamn excuses about that. That was absolutely incorrect, and we need to hold these folks accountable with that. Right. It wasn't about the bonded person. It was about, this was a deal that was made. This would do affordable housing, and guess what? Do you think there's going to be affordable housing?
Hell
we need to address that.
No.
Yeah.
Robert.
Yeah. So I'm gonna end on a good note. Congratulations to the young man. I don't know if he's a Rhodes Scholar or whatever scholar, but he's a national scholar. It's a big deal. So I can't remember his name, but he's out of Woodville Tompkins. It's in the news. Congratulations to that young man and to another African-American male, Dr. George Lewis, who will be inaugurated tomorrow at Atlanta Metropolitan College in Atlanta. So I just want to end on a good note that young Black males start watching and start doing a better job of mentoring and making sure that we uplift our communities.
Yeah, the guy's a Wolverine. Me and Bernard didn't expect anything else. He wasn't a knight or warrior. Bernard.
Y'all got y'all word tonight.
Hey, this what I want to say. I want to talk to the people in Savannah. Can y'all please give Jesus and Jules and RG a chance to save y'all, because y'all need to be saved, hands down.
All right, and that'll be the last word. We're out of here. Shante McLaughlin with Unjust is up next. Y'all stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. And we'll see you tomorrow with all our shows. We got 4 or 5 tomorrow. Well, y'all will see the reruns of all these tomorrow before those 4 or 5. So you'll see about 8 or 9 shows on tomorrow also. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Peace. Love y'all, bro.
I like that.